Hello, this is Neil from mypaintgirls.com, and we're going to be doing Hair the Marvel style. So this is part one then. Also, I recommend watching the introduction so you know where this series is headed and stuff like that. Right, so what we're going to start with is a photo reference. So this here is from Fantastic Four. This is the goal that we're going to achieve. This is the style we want to achieve. And you can actually go to the Marvel website. If you don't know how to go there, check out my introduction video and it shows how to do that, and it's all free. There's a bunch of free comics to look at for references. Full comics you can read to and enjoy. Anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to start by a reference. And the reason why I want to start with the reference is because if you can't draw the Marvel style from a reference, then you probably can't do it from your mind either. I wouldn't see why you'd be able to do it from your mind if you can't do it from a reference. So it's really going to teach us a lot of things on how to reduce realism from reference to this Marvel style and how to achieve that Marvel style and possibly learn how the Marvel style was developed in the first place. One thing I wanted to show before we get started is something that looks complicated to draw, but it's really not. This big clump here looks complicated to draw, and these clumps over here look complicated to draw, but they're really not complicated to draw, and I'll show you what I mean. So what you do then is you would draw some overlapping lines, right? So you'd have like one strand of hair, let's say it's coming this way, and then you'd have like another strand of hair that's going to come like this. Then you have like this third strand of hair, and it's coming and crossing over both of those. Now you decide now which ones of these hairs are above and below. Let's say this hair is above, and so you would erase it here, right? But let's say it's below, it's above that hair, but it's below this hair. This hair is overlapping that hair, like so. Let's say this hair is overlapping that hair. This is going over and under, right? So it's like kind of like weaving together. Well, Marvel just ignores all that oftentimes and erases everything. And thus the whole shape becomes like one shape. So you don't try to draw this shape like that. You don't like try to draw this triangle and stuff like that. You would just draw the hairs that would, how you want them overlapping, and then erase everywhere they overlap. And that's how you get that overall clump, and that's how they get that, that's how they get this overall clump and shape here. Sometimes you'll notice that when a hair comes behind, they will leave just that one strand going over with its lines, and so they didn't erase the lines there. And they do that here. So it's just, selected areas. They either erase all the lines like at the ends. Oftentimes at the end they'll erase all the lines, but sometimes if they really want to show the hairs going back behind another one, they will. So I think that's just personal preference when you decide to do that or not. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started then. Go ahead and erase this. Make a new layer. So we're going to start out then. I'm going to just kind of draw the quick guideline for the face. I'm not going to actually end up drawing a face. I just want some lines in there for I can kind of see where the face would be and everything. Let's say, oops. And then I'm going to have her chin be smaller like a comic book artist would do it. And right, so now I got the head, some loose sketch. I can build on that now. I'm going to kind of put in the neck a little bit here, and a little bit that shoulder, and her arm here. That way I can kind of have something that I'm looking at, for I know where the hair is falling and everything, and what for gravity and all that. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started then. What you do then first, even when you're starting from a reference, whether you're starting from a reference or you're starting, whether or from your mind. Sorry, my mind went blank there. You want to start with the main clumps of hair. So you have this kind of clump of hair there on the top. Then you have these clumps that are, one there's overlapping, and they're going to be coming down. And so pay attention to the overall big clumps. So you have that overall big clump here. It kind of comes down and like so because of the shoulder, and the gravity is make it come down, but the shoulder is kind of pushing it up and out. So you'll often get that kind of wave like that. So keep that in mind when you're drawing hair from your mind. Keep in mind what you learned from drawing from references, and that is that that chin should be way smaller. Sorry, I'm like obsessing over stupid stuff that has nothing, it's not relevant. Anyway, so you're drawing this huge clump, like I said, it comes out like that, and gravity is pulling it down, but the movement of gravity coming down in the shoulder is pushing it up this way, and so it has this kind of like that, right? Now you don't want to draw this outer line all the way down on the shoulder, because you want to treat, now if it was a single strand of hair, sorry, I'm going to change my train of thought for a moment. A single strand of hair would come down, hit the shoulder, and go like that pretty much, right? But a full clump of hair you want to treat like cloth, and so the full clump of hair, it's like one entity. It all is pushed up by the shoulder, so it all kind of comes like that. So it doesn't, if you drew this whole clump coming straight down and like that, it wouldn't look right. So just keep in mind that the dynamics of a big clump of hair acts differently than a strand of hair. And then you have layers of hair too. You have this first layer here, which is kind of coming like so, and it's starting from here, right? Then you have this layer of hair, which is starting from up here, and it's coming down like that, so it's underneath there. Then you have all this back hair, which is also acting a certain way, and I usually ignore that at first and just worry about the silhouette style. But I might, I need some of the silhouette style of this under hair coming out, and it's going to overlap, let's say there, like you can see it overlapping. And I'm not going for perfection, I'm going for speed, so I'm not really paying attention to how everything totally looks. I'm not trying to reproduce the photo, I'm just trying to learn from it really quick on how to achieve the Marvel style and what details they pay attention to, because that's really how you learn a style is imagine you're drawing from a photo, or just literally draw from a photo reference, and then see, okay, what details does that style bring out and ignore. And so that's what we're doing. Again, the main silhouette. Notice you have that kind of hair, then you have this one that's overlapping. And so you have different overlapping areas. You have this, which is this hair, which is coming from her forehead, and it's coming out like so, and then coming down. But then you have the hair that's coming from up here, and it's underneath that. And so that is going to have a slightly different shape to it, and it kind of comes like that, and then it kind of curls like so. That strand of hair came out really weird. So I kind of want to emphasize that more, so, and then you can have another strand of hair come off like that, kind of curl it like so. And then maybe have another one coming out like that. Then you have some hair back and under it, and it's coming that way. And so you have all this hair back here, and it's, some hair is coming that way, some hair is coming that way. And so I just want to kind of pay attention to some of that. Now once you have this, this down here, then you want to start deciding how you're going to break it up. And this is really what you get, how you get the Marvel look, is deciding how to break up the hair and the clumps, and that's how you get that Marvel style. But this simplified look here, there's so many different ways you can take the simplified look. This is bothering me. I didn't feel like redrawing them, but I'm going to lower the lips some so they don't look so weird. Then kind of add on to the... Okay, what just happened there? Wasting time. Okay, anyway. Now I'm not drawing. I don't know why. What the hell did I do? Okay, I might have accidentally had a little bit of selection that I couldn't see. Just kind of... Okay, anyway. Once you have this silhouetted version, there's many different ways that you can take it on how to, you can either keep it very simple, have these major clunks that are separated with a few lines, pretty much what we have here but more cleaned up, and then you can take that to the new level and start adding hairs that are going, against the grain and, flying over and crossing over, then erasing where they cross over to get that look that we just discussed earlier. And also it's how to break up these big clumps. Like you have this big clump of hair, so I could keep it rather simple, like some comics do, and there's nothing wrong with that, I do it often, is you can keep that whole chunk simple like that, and maybe draw a line there. And then you can have like this hair, which is going to come over that a little bit, and I can come in and erase part of it. And that's pretty much it. And then you might have a few lines, coming like that. You'd want them to be tapered lines though, and it's kind of hard to get tapered lines in Photoshop sometimes. I would need a thicker brush too, but anyway, something like that, and that would be like the simplified version. But that wouldn't be the way necessarily that Marvel will handle it. So what we're going to do is in the next video is then explore this sketch some more and turn it more into the comic book style and how to break up the blank spaces by using the photo reference. Alright, so thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this first part so far, and that we're starting to learn something, and we'll go ahead and continue on with the next video. Quick question, anyone that cares to answer it and to comment. Who is your favorite female comic book character and why?